Okay, so this is going to be my $50 build. Now that we found that trick of targeting 1155 series motherboards. So for the CPU, we're going to go for the Intel Pentium G2020. It's a dual core CPU. It's a bit older, from like, I want to say early 2012. No, sorry, late 2012, early 2013. Yeah, if we look it up, yeah, it came out in early 2013. So it was a low-end CPU when it came out, but it's going to be fine in this build because of the graphics card we're going to be using. So yeah, we're just going to add it to my card, and this is why I wanted to go for 1155 because the motherboards are so cheap. You look up 1155 motherboard, and you know, if we sort it from lowest to highest, we can find going for like 11 bucks, which is pretty cheap. So basically, for the CPU and motherboard, we basically only paid 15 bucks, and we're getting a better CPU than the CPU we got in our original $100 build. You know, I mean, a G2020 is nothing crazy, but it's still definitely better than a E2200, more than capable of running Windows 10. And I've actually seen some people pair this with the 750 Ti. Obviously, the graphics card we're going to be using is going to be way lower end than the 750 Ti. I would not recommend pairing the CPU with the 750 Ti, as even in that video it was bottlenecking it quite a bit. The 750 Ti was only getting 75 to 80% performance at most. It was not going to 100% performance. So obviously, I would not recommend pairing this with the 750 Ti, but that just shows you that it's going to be more than capable of handling the GTX 460 we're going to be using with it, because it's quite a bit older than the 750 Ti. This came out in 2009, and it was mid-range when it came out. So yeah, the 2013 CPU should be more than capable of handling it. But, you know, even though this is a bit older of a graphics card, it would be the equivalent of, in 2009, it would be the equivalent of an RTX 3060 now. So it was still pretty mid-range is what I want to say, because it was the cheapest high-end graphics card available. And you know, it's pretty good. I'll drop a benchmark down below. It's a bit worse than the GTX 580 from the $100 build, but can still handle any game from the PS3, Xbox 360 generation at 1080p, and it can handle esports even now, like Rainbow Six and Fortnite, and all those can still play on this now. It might not be able to handle modern day AAA games, so I know the 580 could run Witcher 3. I'm not sure about this, but yeah, pretty much anything before 2014, 2015 AAA wise, it can run, and it can run modern day esports. So yeah, it's still pretty relevant. So yeah, we're at 34. So now we need our RAM. I'm gonna go for 4 gigabytes of RAM, 2 by 2 gigabytes of RAM for this build. And I don't really care too much about speed, for the RAM, just because my build isn't that fast anyway. And we want to make sure we're going for desktop RAM. I mean, not 2 by 4, 2 by 2 gigabytes desktop RAM. Yeah, and you know, 8 bucks. Oh wait, this one was not available. Probably sold out. But yeah, this one, $10. 4 gigs of RAM. Yeah. So we have our RAM. Now we need our power supply. For a 460, GTX 460 recommended power supply. Yeah, so we need a 450 watt power supply at the bare minimum. So 450 watt power supply. I'm looking for a decent brand. Yeah, Dell is a decent brand. So yeah, for $5, we managed to get this power supply without shipping. So yeah, our total without shipping came out to. Oh wait, I forgot the high tech. Yeah, let me just add that in. Uh, okay. Yeah. So total without shipping came out to $56. With shipping, it came out to 72. And this is pretty fairly decent bill for $50. You're getting a graphics card that can still handle any. I'd say this is slightly better than PS3, Xbox 360 performance in terms of gaming, because it can handle any game from that generation, as a couple newer games like even modern day esports can run on this, like CS:GO, Fortnite. I've even seen PUBG running on the GTX 460 at low settings, 720p. Probably would not recommend playing PUBG on a graphics card like this, though it is playable, though it's not really competitive. But it's still playable. Like if you just want to enjoy the game, you don't really care about winning or losing. You just want to have an enjoyable experience in the game. This can handle it, though it is going to be at low settings. Um, yeah, still, I mean, it's a current gen game. It's not even on 360 and PS3, so yeah, it's slightly better than a PS3 and Xbox 360 experience. And PS3s tend to go for like what, $80. So I mean, I'm seeing more than 80 actually. Okay, that's way too expensive for a PS3 though. Yeah, cheapest usually it's like 70 to 80. So and this is like 56 without shipping. So for a little bit cheaper than a PS3, we're getting a better experience. So yeah. I probably would recommend this build, and it can handle Windows 10 and all, fly to the basic tasks like basic web browsing and stuff like that. Because this is better. Well, not it's probably around the level of, in terms of integrated GPU wise, it's probably around the level of like an Intel 630, which is like last gen. Maybe not as good as like Intel 11 gen integrated GPUs, but maybe like 8th or 9th gen integrated GPUs. It's around that level because it's a dedicated GPU. So yeah. Yeah, pretty good. I'm happy with this build.